Okay, so to start, big up and respect for your show. It was really crazy. I felt like I was at the Bronx in the 70s.
I lost my towel.
With all that hip-hop jam.
I appreciate it. This was wild. It ended like hip-hop.
And do you often do things like that on your shows?
When I can. It's not every night, but when you can, then you do it. And this was one of those moments where I was able. Actually, I called Zulu Nation up here in Poland. I called them up because, you know, they were there, and I just wanted to acknowledge that they were there. So when they came up, one of the b-boys just started doing his thing, and then I said, "Yo, what's up? You really want to get down? You want to do it?" He said, "Yo, call the other guys up." Gave the announcement, "Yo, if you're a b-boy," that's when it got crazy.
And all of them running, jumping.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. I loved it. But that's hip hop. That's the culture of it. Even beyond rap music, the idea of people being able to join in. It's not so much you looking at me. It's all of us experiencing this spirit. That's hip hop. Hip-hop is so huge around the world that you could do festival-sized stages. So in a way, it's like we're grateful for the big stage and a lot of people. But in another way, it's like we're out of context. We're not supposed to be in big festivals. We're supposed to be in little clubs, little rooms, giving it to you, an MC and a DJ. But this was great. When the guys got on stage, that made it small again. And that's when we was able to...
That made it the other world on the scene, yeah? They stepped into a world.
It was nice.
And when we hear tracks like Hip Hop Lives with Marley Marl, we hear that hip is the knowledge and hop is the movement.
Yes.
And do you think that hip hop knowledge is still the unofficial fifth element?
Yes.
And it's still important for listeners, or today hip hop culture lacks in it? And people aren't interested in the roots, in the knowledge, they just listen to the music without the context, as you said.
Well, you know, not everybody. This crowd here is, I'm going back to the States with a different revelation on my mind. You know, I did a few festivals on this tour, like I did Splash. Last year we did the Open Air Festival in Switzerland. It wasn't like this. It was not like this. This crowd wanted something. They were thirsty for hip hop, and even like I think the band that came on before me was excellent. They really was good. I was just watching a little bit of their performance. That was excellent in that sense. If I had known that, you know, they were coming with a live band and all that, maybe I would have came here with the Roots or something, you know. But it's this crowd wanted hip hop, and like a guy threw me a shirt and said, "If you see the police, Warner Brother," and it was the Warner Brothers emblem, the movie emblem, but it was warn a brother, like, you know, look out for a brother, you know, look out. I thought that was so hot. I thought that was just, and that's out the crowd, you know what I'm saying? That's out the crowd. Same thing with calling people up. Usually, like sometimes, I call people on stage and nobody comes. You know, nobody comes. Nobody, you know, I say, "Yo, if you a b-boy, come up." Nobody comes. Sometimes nobody comes. This was like, ah! Everybody jumped up, and people had moves. Real breaking moves that cats was doing. They were doing everything.
Like attacking soldiers, yeah?
Yeah. Yes. And it was good. I leave with a higher respect for Poland. I do. I leave with a higher respect because Poland's thirsty for it. Even my show last night, you know, it was a thirst. You know, not like, you know, no disrespect to France or to England. But like England is very reserved, you know. They give it up, you know. They give it up. You get hip hop,
but with a distance, yeah.
Huh?
But with a distance.
Yes, but with a right, a little distance to it, right. It's not up on you like that. Like Poland, they on you like on you like this, and I like it. I really appreciate it. I like that closeness to the audience. So again, you know, this was just an eye-opening experience for me, and very inspiring, because I go home now saying, you know, hip hop is truly what we intended it to be. It has become.
And when it comes to entertainment, educating and entertaining at the same time,
Yes.
when I spoke with Macklemore last year, he said that it's very hard to find a balance to do music that let people have fun and have some deeper meaning to think about it.
Yes.
And
That's very difficult.
and who's, in your opinion, the best edutainer among MCs today? The guy with hits and with deeper meaning.
I start with Immortal Technique. I start with him. He doesn't have hits like, you know, a mainstream artist would have, but hip hop knows him. Dead Prez. They don't have big hits, but everybody knows that record. It's bigger than hip hop. Everybody knows that. And they're doing the same thing, edutainment. They're educating people while entertaining you. I mean, Run DMC used to do that back in the days. Records like It's Like That, you know, that's one of the most conscious records in hip hop. Even NWA, their first record, Express Yourself. That's one of the most conscious records in hip hop. These are just some of the, you said, groups today. Of course, oh man, I mean, you got Mos Def, you got Talib Kweli, Public Enemy still working. Oh man, it goes on and on. A lot of guys are doing it, giving you lyrics that make you think while you party. I'd stop with Immortal Technique. There's a bunch of others as well. This guy, oh man, I can't remember his name now, but he's on my, it'll come to me. But he's mainstream now. Oh man, what is this guy's gonna, when I tell you his name, you're gonna be like, oh. I can't even remember his name. I got too many names in my head now. I can't remember his name. Forget it. It'll come to me.
And who was your first big musical inspiration?
My first musical inspiration?
James Brown, as the tribute shows today?
Yeah, he wouldn't be an inspiration. James Brown was just like a standard for everyone. Like, that was just a standard, like Parliament Funkadelic, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers, go over to like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Yellow Man. You know, these are just foundation. But I tell you, I'm more influenced by people like. I'm trying to think as I was growing up, it was more rap, like you know, like the Sugar Hill label, you know, like when I was a teen, I was 12 and 13 when like Funky 4+1 came out with their first records, and Treacherous 3 and Melly Mel, The Message. That's my whole career, The Message. Those are my influences. That's Cold Crush Brothers on a cassette. You know, again, Zulu Nation, Jazzy J, not so much Africa Bambaataa in this area, but Jazzy J. The way he used to cut music in the park. See, there's also another thing with listening to hip hop legally. That's another whole head trip. It's like when we were coming up, hip hop was illegal. Like you couldn't, like to go to a park jam, like you went to a jam in the park and you'd hear the music playing, but the power, what was powering up the electricity for the system was being run out of a light, the lamp post that used to light the streets. At the bottom of it, we used to break into the bottom and rewire it so that we took the power from the city, took the power from the bottom of a light pole, and that's what used to power the whole systems. So just to go to a hip-hop jam, it was illegal. Like at any moment, the police were gonna come and shut it down because you were stealing power from the city. You was taking power from the city. And
you was giving power to the city also.
And also giving power to the city and a street light. I always looked at that, like hip-hop as street light. Like, it's the light of the streets, because that's where we got our power from, the base of the street light. And so you have that. You have music blast. Imagine music this loud in a park. Like in a park. Kool Herc had this system. Kool Herc had that. Imagine in 73, he had a system like that. And he'd go to the park, turn on his system. Whoa, 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 whoa. You would hear this, and the police would have to come. Like people would be like there's no permits. No one's supposed to be where they're supposed to be at. So hip hop only lasted about a good 5 hours, like 4 hours. That's all you got, and it would go quick. It was just like somebody would cut, sick, and then all you say, woo, 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 woo. Cops would come.
Short essence and run away.
And then you just said it'd be gone, and people would get arrested, and equipment would get taken, and all of this would happen. It's like now, again, we're listening to it out of context. It's like now it's legal, you pay a ticket, you come in, you hear it. Back in the days, you had to like sneak in, listen to it. You knew the cops were coming at any moment, so every record that got put on, you was like, oh, yes. Every word out the DJ's mouth, you was taking it in, because at any minute, at any moment, all of this is gonna come to a stop. And when you least expect it, it came to an end. Somebody would come in, the cops would come in, turn that off. DJ would keep trying to play it. I said, turn that off. DJ would keep trying to, they just take the equipment. Nobody listened to the cops. Nobody cared about what they were saying. So this is what it was. This just made me thinking about the old days.
I told you that I'm number one. I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. So I would like to know who's number 6 after KRS.
Probably Buckshot. Probably be number 6, or Busta Rhymes, or Mad Lion, or somebody. The reason I say that, sorry, I lied. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, is because the idea of being number 1 is such an illusion. When I say I'm still number 1, it's not a status of number 1. It's a oneness. Oneness is like a unity. We're one. That was still number 1.
And about originality, yeah?
Yes.
That you're not a copy, but number 1, the first version.
That's right. The original. That's what we talk about, the original. The first one, like that. But when you are the original, you're not number 1. You're the whole list. I could have said, if it worked in the rhyme, I could have said 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It just didn't work in the rhyme. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 worked in the rhyme. But it's all of it. You never want to be number 1. You want to be number 1 maybe one time in your life, just to say you did it. I'm number 1. But really, for a long career, you want to be about number 4 or 3. That's it. You want to be amongst the top 5. You don't want to be number 1, and you don't want to be number 10. You want to be like number 3 or 4, because that's immortal. Number 3 or 4, you will always.
Everybody wants to fight the number 1 and number 3.
Right. Number 1 is always arrows is pointed at number 1. Jealousy is at number 1. Envy is at and number 1 has nowhere else to go but down. Once you're number 1, there's no place else to go but down. You want to be number 3, number 4. That's immortality.
Like catching the rabbit, yeah. Fighting for your first place all the time, and when you have it, there's nothing to fight for.
Spoken by a wise man.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Okay, thanks for the interview and for the
Thank
show.
you, my friend. Thank you. Great way to end.